Good morning, everyone. My name's Doc, and welcome back to the channel. It's been quite some time since I've done some video form content for you guys. It's been quite some time since I've uploaded to YouTube or even made any type of video content for Twitter. So hopefully this video will go up in both places. I thought it's due time for me to do an update video on what I see happening with Bitcoin price action. If you guys have been following me on Twitter or if you're in the Discord, you guys will know that my bias has been bearish since about mid-April. The trigger for that bearish bias was simply this close back below 29.2 being my high time frame pivot level. Similar to how I was playing off of 23.2 earlier this year. I was using this point of breakdown area on the merge rally as my bias, saying that, look, if we get spot buyers coming to defend price above this, that's when we're going to finally get expansion. That's exactly what we got. And I'm using 29.2 as my exact same level. So mid-April, when I saw this bearish engulfing candle close back below this, put in that daily supply block, for me, I was saying, okay, this is the time to take a step back from markets. It's been a long year. I'm absolutely, I'm exhausted. I'm not sleeping. I need to take some time away from markets. And I couldn't, obviously, I was still there every day throughout some of this chop. It wasn't until the end of April that I said, okay, let me, it's rejecting this level. That's pretty much the top end. That's me being that's me being correct. That's kind of my confirmation. And I've largely avoided all this chop. I haven't done much in May. I did some trading on Pepe. Fortunate enough to catch an unbelievable 20x on that. I was in very early. And that's pretty much all I've done in May. I've adjusted some longer term spot positions. I picked up some spot bags in a few altcoins, and I've just been monitoring Bitcoin with a bias that this trades a lot lower through the end of this year. Now, does that mean that lower has to come immediately? No, it does not. And I was thinking that I was going to get it. I've been bearish biased throughout this whole thing. I personally thought that this wick was going to be bait. I thought a lot of people would long this and they were just going to get trapped. And I was feeling pretty confident. Every kind of push up was really anemic, really pathetic and mediocre by bulls. They were met with big sell-offs. Every type of grindy, all the grindy price action up, 4 or 5 days of up was just wiped out in one day, right? Multiple times. When we finally got this close last week underneath 26.5, I thought, okay, here's where expansion to the downside is going to begin. I was pretty displeased as a current bear curious market participant or bear biased market participant. I was pretty displeased that this started trading back up, and I went back to being flat. I took a couple shorts. I took a very nice short on Ethereum down below this, and I thought we were going to get expansion. But as Ethereum started reclaiming the comp, and I'll go over this right now, basically as Ethereum dropped back inside the comp here, I took a short. I was taking profits all the way down here. And when price reclaimed the comp, I cut the rest of my bag. I said, okay, look, that's reacceptance. I don't want to deal with the chop. That's kind of the bear continuation is kind of dead from there. And Bitcoin now has done the exact same thing. So if we go down the 4 hour, you can see that it did the same thing. It just spent a lot more time underneath this comp, which is why I thought, look, if we get rejected, if we test this supply, if we get a test of this supply, I'm going to take a short. And that's exactly what I did. We swept local highs. We tagged the value area low of the comp. I took a short. We didn't get any follow through. Pretty much 18 hours. I tweeted this 18 hours, or did I tweet it, or was it in Discord? 18 hours at my entry. That's not comfortable for me. I want to do business at extremes in price. I don't want to do business where everyone else is doing business. So I cut my short. I never got into a long as price reclaimed comp. And now what is this looking like on a daily? On a daily, this is just looking like a failed breakdown, right? Bears tried to break this down. It's reaccepting back into the comp. If we're using Ethereum sort of as the leading indicator as Ethereum led the breakout. Ethereum reclaimed comp quicker, and Ethereum's, trading above the comp once again. If Ethereum's our leader in the market, if Ethereum's our clue, and we can, combine this with how well ES is doing, how well NASDAQ is doing, if we're using all of these clues, and I can even add more, I can add more. I can say, look, the daily 100, 200 is being respected once again. This is your kind of cyclical indicator going back like 10 years pretty much. Let me pull up the index so you guys can see. That's not the index. I don't know how to click. The daily 100, 200, you guys can just see, bird's eye view. This is sort of your bias for the cycles. Trading above this, trading below this, bear markets, bull markets, right? It generally works very, very well. The only time it did not work well is 2019, and the closest, thing that a lot of us are using to describe 2023 is a year like 2019, right? So is it the end all be all? Are we supposed to bet our life savings right here? No, but if we're using the confluence of the daily 100, 200, we're using this kind of failed breakdown on the daily right here and reacceptance back into the comp. We're using confluence of how tech is ripping, how NASDAQ ES is ripping, how Ethereum is sort of leading Bitcoin because of the ETH BTC pair is pretty bullish at the moment. It's been getting a pretty insane bid. If ETH BTC gets back up here, right, we cannot deny that ETH is probably going to continue being the leader of this market. As of the moment, it's kind of flipping. It's attempting to flip the SR local highs, right? Trade above it, try to hold this as support, try to flip some of these MAs, try to trade above them, right? If we're using all of this sort of as our confluence, right, we can say that Bitcoin may trade higher. And how high, you may ask? Well, the obvious levels, right, the obvious levels that everyone's talking, if we get expansion and acceptance above this comp, right, and let me highlight some of the things that I'd be looking for since we're looking at the H4 right now. So we have above us the H4 100 200. I use the H4 100 as my H4 100 200 as my daily bias. I'm looking for predominantly longs above it. I'm looking for long setups above it. I'm looking for short setups below it. It works really well for me. It's not 100% accurate, as nothing is in markets, but it works well enough for me, and that's a core part of my system. And just for fun, since we're talking about this, this was pretty much one of the nicest long triggers that I got. I got a local SR flip. We had local H4 trend at our feet, and we were getting a flip of the daily the H4 100 200 back in January. I remember this weekend so well. This is where I turned giga bullish. I was bull posting like a maniac, and look at the reward that we got. So, not saying something similar is going to happen here, at 27K, we're going to go straight to 40. But once again, if we start getting acceptance above this comp, if we're using the indicator, the clues that we're getting from ETH and other things, and we're getting acceptance like this, I'm going to be looking for long triggers to expand above this, because I'll be saying, look, I've got the H4 100 200 that I'm trading above. I'm getting price action to accept above the comp. I'm getting the local H4 trend, right here. Maybe this trades upwards like this, right? Maybe this trades upwards. Maybe these, moving indicators move like this, right? We're getting acceptance above the comp. We're trading above H4 100 200. We got the H4 local H4 EMAs at our feet. We got all of these things. I want to be long biased. I want to be long biased towards this wick. I want to be long biased towards this macro range high, this 29.2, maybe supply, maybe hedge here, right? That could be one trade. And then ultimately look at these grindy lower highs. Now, I don't know whether this is going to be bait, whether we're going to get so damn, bull retarded right here at range highs that this thing just ultimately can't do much, and we end up breaking back down one thing at a time. I'm not gonna jump like 50 steps ahead, but yeah, this definitely does look juicy to attack, and it would maintain my high time frame bearish bias. And I don't know, I'm talking so fast. I hope, first of all, I hope this video is coming out like coherent. I hope I'm not speaking too fast, and I hope my thoughts are being registered. But yeah, the high time frame bias is that we've kind of topped for the year. I think that we've topped for the year. I think we're going to retest some of this right here, 23K, 22K. You know, I've just for fun, you know, speculated that 21.5 is going to be the bottom. Somewhere around here would be the, you know, the absolute bottom where bears would be saying, look, we're going to attack this liquidity. We have to take out this low. We have to take out this low. That could potentially be bait. But yeah, I'm just making predictions way too far in advance, but that's kind of my leading theory at the moment. If Bitcoin somehow puts in a Herculean effort and we start getting spot buyers above 29.2, yeah, I think expansion is coming. I think obviously the 32K highs are going to be taken. Some of this inefficiency may be filled. We may tag some of this supply up here at the high 38s, but one thing at a time. That's not my theory at the moment. I honestly believe that, you know, if I pull up, does this chart have 2019? Not all of it. I think I had it earlier. If I had to guess, gun to my head, where are we as far as 2019 goes? If we're taking 2019 parallels, I would say that we are somewhere potentially in this region. I think we've topped. I think we're at this low right here, and I think we may do another sort of crazy push back into these highs, which is kind of where I'm leading towards at the moment. After this failed breakdown, right? I'm thinking like if we start getting acceptance above this comp, there may lead to expansion. Failed, you know, and I can go over, you know, I think a question on many people's minds is, how am I going to prevent getting deviated? It's just a range. You know, there's not going to be expansion. It's just going to be choppy. How can I prevent myself from just getting deviated and losing money? Well, my obvious response to that is you can never predict anything with 100% accuracy. You just have to take the highest probability setups that you're comfortable with taking, that you've, you know, forward tested and proved to be an efficient strategy for yourself. And I'm just demonstrating what I use, what the strategy that I'm going to be using to trade this to the upside if I get kind of the trigger that I'm talking about. And I can use the example for how I try to trade this to the downside. So what I did here, like I mentioned briefly, I took, did I mention it? I don't even know if I mentioned it, but I took a short on Ethereum, basically saying, look, if we run these highs and we reaccept back into the comp, I'm going to be short biased. That's exactly what I did. I took a short like 1826 or 1824, something right there. This is where I built up shorts. I TP'd the value area low as we started, you know, showing resilience right here, and then I put limit orders down here, and I got a very fortunate fill at like the pico bottom of this wick. Actually the goated, the most goated TP of all time right there. And as price started reaccepting back into the value area low, I cut the rest of the position. Right. That was the trade I took on Ethereum. As Ethereum reclaimed the value area low, Bitcoin was still trading below it. So I was thinking, okay, this is still bearish. Can I get a continuation setup? So the setup that I took was, once this high was taken, right? We swept this high. We tagged and rejected the value area low. I was going to use this as my bias point. I took a short, 26.520, I believe was my entry, 26.520, and price did nothing but sit at my entry for almost a day, about 18 hours. I woke up the next morning. I took the trade midday. I woke up the next morning, 7 a.m. Price was still there, so I cut the trade. Multiple failed attempts to expand back down. I no longer wanted to be back in this, and look at what followed afterwards, right? So that's kind of what I'm going to be looking for right here. I'll be looking this exact thing in reverse, right? If we break above this, right, I'm going to be looking to defend. The next pullback towards comp, I'm going to be taking a long. My invalidation is going to be, that's not what I'm looking for. My invalidation is going to be if we drop back inside the comp. Once again, we reaccept in there. I don't want to be long biased, because that just tells me we're chopping. We're not ready for expansion yet, right? So that's going to be the way that I define risk, looking for longs this week if we do get the breakout to the upside. The most unfortunate scenario that no one wants is going to be if we just continue chopping. Right? If we just spend another week doing this, that's absolute boredom. That's not for me. I'm probably not going to be taking trades off of that. There is very clear reason to look for shorts, right? If you're saying, look, we're going to reject it off the H4 200 and we're just going to come back down here, sure. I have no trade set up for that. I'm not going to be taking a trade. I'm not shorting the top of this. I'm simply looking for expansion to the upside and looking to play into that strength. And more so, that's going to do it for this video, but more so like the better trade setups are going to appear on altcoins. If Bitcoin breaks above here, there's going to be the strong altcoins in the market that are going to do very well. And you'd probably do better off trading those. If you guys are watching this on Twitter, you're probably following a lot of good Twitter accounts that are trading these market conditions very well. If the people that you're following are doing well and they're posting altcoins to look at, I would look into those as well. Use Bitcoin breaking out to the upside here as your bias. Look for strong altcoins and play those instead. That is going to be definitely the easier trade versus trying to precision snipe an entry on Bitcoin here. If that's your bag, that's going to be what you do. That's probably what I'm going to do is the Bitcoin trade here. I'll probably be looking for alts as well in addition. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope I covered enough stuff. I hope I explained what's going through my head. I basically wanted to do a big info dump in this video because I have not, in long form, in a lengthy form, discussed my bias. And that was really the point of this video. I hope you guys took something away from this. I gave you a long setup to look for. I can actually give you a short setup as well. Look, before we end the video, if you guys are still watching, I said that's going to do it. Most people probably turn the video off. But if price, gets up here, right, and SFPs this level, right, you can do a short. You can look for short right here. Then as these move up and we move down, look for a long trigger right here, right? TP obviously at the point of breakdown, and a new fresh long if we get acceptance above, right? Simple ways to play the market on both sides. I'm not going to go over too much of this, but just, an idea. If you end up missing the long here, you can look for an SFP type of short up here. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. I'll probably cover more of this stuff as it develops, both both here, Twitter, Discord. So do the thing, guys. Look in the description. Check out Twitter if you're not on Twitter. Follow me there. Check out the Discord. The link is in the bio. It's completely free. I welcome you guys to join and hang out there. A lot of discussion happening every day. And that's going to do it. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.